if I click on Complete Auto Unfold to Print, so this is the next button we'll look at. It's a real simple button. So the nice thing here is once you have a finished model, you've tested all the pieces, you're sure they're all going to fit, and you're happy with how they look, then you can use this Complete Auto Unfold. You can see it takes a while because what it's doing is it's stepping through each individual piece, it's unfolding it, and then it's sending it to the print window. And then once it's finished going through all that and finished unfolding all the different pieces, it'll automatically open up the print window. So we should see that in a minute. Sure enough, there it is. So now I have the print window, which has gone through and automatically unfolded and sent all these pieces here. So I have the entire TIE fighter laid out and ready for printing. And that is, it's as simple as that. You hit printer and now you have your 5 or 6 pages which have all the cutouts for this model. Very simple, very easy to use. So the button underneath that is called the Complete Auto Unfold to SketchUp. It basically does the same thing the button above it did, except for instead of sending the images to the print window, it just flattens them out and leaves them in SketchUp. And the reason this is helpful is some users have found it helpful to be able to export those a SketchUp file to a program like AutoCAD, for example, where they can take an AutoCAD version of this exact same file and attach it to a laser cutter and other accessories that AutoCAD has set up on it. So that's that button. Jump back to our guy. So there's another real nice button that unfortunately only comes with the education and commercial versions of the software. It is a really handy tool to have, and I'll show you what it is. So it's called the Scale to Paper function. Now what this does is it takes your model and it determines optimally what size it should be to fit on the paper size that you've selected. So let's click it. It takes a while to run. It takes as long as the Complete Unfold button does. What it's doing is it's stepping through every piece of the model, it's unfolding it, it's testing how big it is, then it's comparing it to your paper size, it's determining, if it rotated a piece like that or like that, what would be the optimal fit, and then it finds whatever the most constraining piece is on this model and then resizes it so that it just fits on the paper. So if the model's too small, if you have a really small model, it'll expand the size of the model. And conversely, if your model is too big, it'll shrink it so that it fits on the paper. The result will always be a model that is optimally going to fit on the paper size that you've selected. So here's our model, and it's been changed. There's a better way to illustrate this. Let's just get rid of this for a second and build a little box, because it'll go a lot faster and you'll see the shrinking in action. So make that a group. Now let's try to unfold with the unfold test. Okay, sure enough, it's red. It didn't like the unfold. It's too big. So now what we do is say, okay, please scale me to paper. So there you can see it shrunk, and I can zoom into it like that. And now when I unfold test, you can see it comes out nicely. If I do the Complete Auto Unfold test, you can see that the piece just barely fits onto the paper. In this case, the width is the constraining dimension. Any wider, and it would not fit on the paper. So let's get the converse. Let's say it's too small. So we shrink it a bit. Let's run the Complete Auto Unfolder, and you can see the piece is a lot smaller. Let's say I'm building this model and say, oh, I want this to be as big as possible. So all I do is I click on the scale to paper, and then I click on the Complete Auto Unfold, and sure enough, now our piece is big enough. So a real nice handy feature to have. Not the end of the world if you don't have it. You can always use the SketchUp scale, but it means a little more trial and error with the print window. So here we are back with our TIE Fighter, just to illustrate the last tools. So there's the Toggle Hide button, which is a really handy button. Just let's just use it. So if we click on Toggle Hide, click on the cockpit, it basically hides everything in the model, doesn't destroy it. And then that lets me kind of jump in here, and really manipulate the model. And then as soon as I'm done with it, I just make sure I have nothing selected. And then I click Toggle Hide and everything comes back. It's just purely a 3D modeling helper. This little hammer just toggles whether the advanced toolbar is displayed or not, and then you have a couple links to the website, either if you want to contact us with something or if you want to go to the Learn Waybe page. So that's the basic tool.